in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See that host all dressed in white. God's gonna trouble the water. The leader looks like the
Down in the swamps and in the country, it's well known that if you have your front door open and hear someone calling your name, then realize that that person you thought was calling you is not around, you absolutely never, ever answer. Why? Because you're inviting a spirit into your home. I remember my grandmother warning me when I was 8 years old about doing that. Also, I could never forget what happened when I didn't listen. It's the late 1950s. Both my parents had died, and I'm living with my grandparent. Grandpa worked on the river, so Nana and I spent a lot of time alone. During the summer nights, she would open the front door and leave the screen door locked so we can get some fresh air in the house. But one evening, the front door is open and I can hear her calling my name from outside. I've been sitting there reading a comic book, not paying much attention, and I hear it. Elijah. Elijah. The voice says it twice, and it sounds just like my Nana. So I get up, run out the front door, and say, "Yes, Nana." Now outside, the sun is going down, and there's this weird, spooky feeling. You know that gut feeling like something is just wrong. So I return to the safety of the house, closing and locking the door behind me. 5 minutes later, my Nana comes from the back of the house, asking me why the door is closed. And I tell her, "Because I heard you calling my name outside." "Nonsense, boy, I was in the washroom. And don't be responding to them spirits out there." Now, what happened next was absolutely terrifying, and even to this day, it's hard for me to speak about. Because 3 days later, Nana leaves the house, going up the road to her friends to get a cake pan, leaving me alone. Understand, I knew she was gone. I knew I was alone. I'm in the room sitting on a bed reading a comic book, and now I hear my name being called inside of the house. It's coming from the hallway, so I ignore it. Was I afraid? Hell yes, I was. Imagine being a little kid home alone, hearing your name clearly being called from the hallway. The voice sounds just like your grandmother, who you know has left the house. I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed, terrified, trying to read my comic book. But 30 minutes later, I have to pee. And we ain't talking about a little pee. We talking about the kind that if you don't go to the bathroom, you're going to piss all over yourself. So I timidly hop up from the bed, edge closer to the doorway, peeking left, peeking right. I don't see anyone. Darting from my bedroom door, down the hallway, to the left, shooting into the bathroom, and relieve myself. Now, as I'm walking down that hallway, headed back to my room, something slams me against the wall, face first. I can feel the pressure on the back of my head. Then I physically feel pressure on my left shoulder as my body is ripped around, slamming my back up against the wall. Now I'm starting to slide up the wall, my head hitting the ceiling, my body continuing to slide until my back is pressed against the ceiling. Trying with all my might to scream for my Nana, but there's this pressure over my mouth, just like someone is pressing the palm of their hand over my face. And that's when I start to hear the whispering right in my ear, "Elijah, Elijah, Elijah, Elijah." Multiple voices saying my name at the same time, different tones and different pitch. Listen to me when I tell you this. I can't tell you exactly how long I was there, body pressed up against the ceiling, but I remember crying so hard and so much that I watched my teardrops drip from my eyelashes. It seemed as if the more I struggled, the harder it pressed me up against the ceiling, realizing that the only thing that I could move was my left hand. That's when I hear the front door opening, and I knew it was my Nana. I could hear her laying the cake pan on the kitchen counter, so now I'm flapping my left hand, hitting it against the ceiling over and over and over again, praying and hoping to get her attention. And even as I share this story with you now, one of the things I could never ever forget is the sound my hand made slapping against that ceiling. Seconds later, Nana.
Okay, now you know Dark Waters is not about to give it all away for free. Want the rest of this story? Go to IamDarkWaters.com and become a member today. Only $4.99 per month gives you access to his library of true horror stories. Become a member today. Only $4.99 per month gives you access to his library of true horror stories. Become a member today.